10 Best Buddhist Symbols and Their Meanings Explained. Buddhism is a religion and philosophy that has been practiced for thousands of years. It is founded on the teachings of the Buddha, who lived in ancient India over 2,500 years ago. One of the defining characteristics of Buddhism is its use of symbols, which represent important concepts and ideas in the religion. In this article, we will explore the 10 best Buddhist symbols and their meanings. Number 1. The lotus flower. The lotus flower is a powerful and meaningful symbol in Buddhism. It is often depicted as a blooming flower rising out of murky water, representing the journey from ignorance to enlightenment. The lotus is known to be one of the most beautiful flowers in the world, but its beauty goes beyond its appearance. The plant itself grows in muddy and murky water, but remains untouched and pure by the impurities of its surroundings. This represents the idea that even though we are surrounded by suffering and difficulty, we can remain pure and untainted by them. The lotus flower has the ability to emerge from the water to bloom in the sun, symbolizing the journey of a person from ignorance to enlightenment, as they rise above their struggles to reach a state of spiritual purity. Moreover, the different stages of the lotus flower's growth also represent different stages of spiritual development. A closed lotus bud represents a person who has not yet begun their spiritual journey, while a partially open lotus bud symbolizes the early stages of spiritual awakening. A fully bloomed lotus flower represents a person who has achieved enlightenment and has reached a state of spiritual perfection. Number 2. The Buddha statue. The Buddha statue is a common symbol in Buddhism and is often used to represent the Buddha himself. The statue is usually depicted sitting in a meditative posture with a serene expression, representing the Buddha's teachings and the ideals of wisdom, compassion, and enlightenment. The Buddha statue is an important symbol because it represents the Buddha, who is the founder of Buddhism and is revered as a spiritual teacher and guide. The statue is meant to remind people of the Buddha's teachings and inspire them to follow the path of enlightenment. In Buddhist art, the Buddha statue is often depicted with specific hand gestures, known as mudras, which represent different aspects of Buddhist teachings. For example, the Abhaya mudra, or fear not mudra, represents protection and fearlessness, while the Dhyana mudra, or meditation mudra, represents concentration and spiritual discipline. Number 3. The Bodhi tree. The Bodhi tree is a sacred fig tree under which the Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment. The tree is a powerful symbol of the Buddha's teachings and the journey towards enlightenment. The Bodhi tree is an important symbol in Buddhism because it represents the place where the Buddha achieved spiritual awakening. According to legend, the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree for 7 days and nights, meditating until he achieved enlightenment. The tree itself is believed to have been a sapling from the original Bodhi tree in Bodhgaya, India, which is considered to be one of the most sacred sites in Buddhism. The Bodhi tree symbolizes the Buddha's teachings and the path towards enlightenment. It represents the idea that anyone can achieve spiritual awakening and liberation from suffering through diligent practice and spiritual discipline. Number 4. The Wheel of Dharma. The Wheel of Dharma, also known as the Dharma Chakra, is a symbol of the Buddha's teachings and represents the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The wheel is often depicted with 8 spokes, which represent the Eightfold Path, a set of guidelines for living a moral and ethical life. The Wheel of Dharma is an important symbol in Buddhism because it represents the Buddha's teachings and the path towards enlightenment. The Eightfold Path, represented by the 8 spokes, is a set of guidelines that can help people lead a more meaningful and fulfilling life. The Eightfold Path includes right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Number 5. The 8 Auspicious Symbols. The 8 auspicious symbols, also known as the Ashtamangala, are a group of 8 symbols that represent different aspects of Buddhist teachings and are considered to bring good fortune and prosperity. The 8 auspicious symbols are often depicted together and include the parasol, the golden fish, the conch shell, the lotus flower, the banner of victory, the Dharma wheel, the endless knot, and the vase. Each symbol represents a different aspect of Buddhist teachings. For example, the parasol represents protection from harmful influences and distractions. The golden fish represent liberation from suffering. The conch shell represents the sound of the Buddha's teachings, and the lotus flower represents purity and enlightenment. Number 6. The conch shell. The conch shell is one of the oldest and most significant symbols in Buddhism. It represents the teachings of the Buddha, which spread like the sound of the conch and is considered to bring good fortune and prosperity. In Buddhism, the conch shell is also known as the shankha, and it is often used as a musical instrument in religious ceremonies. The conch shell has a spiral shape and is often depicted with colorful designs and decorations. The conch shell is also associated with the Buddha's teachings on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The sound of the conch shell is said to represent the sound of the Buddha's teachings, which can awaken people from their spiritual slumber and lead them towards enlightenment. Number 7. The endless knot. The endless knot, also known as the eternal knot, is a symbolic representation of the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. It is a powerful and important symbol in Buddhism, representing the infinite nature of reality and the interdependence of all phenomena. The endless knot is often depicted as a symmetrical knot with no beginning or end, representing the infinite nature of the universe. It is also often depicted with 2 or more lines intertwined with each other, representing the interdependence and interconnectedness of all things. Number 8. The golden fishes. The golden fishes, also known as Suvarnamatsya in Sanskrit, are a pair of fish that are often depicted together as a symbol in Buddhism. They are a symbol of good fortune, abundance, and fertility, and are considered one of the 8 auspicious symbols in Buddhism. The golden fishes are usually depicted as a pair of fish swimming in opposite directions, with their heads facing upward. They represent the harmony and balance between the male and female energies, as well as the freedom of movement in water, which symbolizes liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Number 9. The parasol. The parasol, also known as the chhatra in Sanskrit, is a symbol of protection, wisdom, and royal power in Buddhism. It is one of the 8 auspicious symbols in Buddhism and is often depicted in Buddhist art and architecture. The parasol is a large, umbrella-like object that is used to provide shade and protection from the elements. It is often associated with royalty and authority and is a symbol of the Buddha's power and protection over his followers. In addition to its practical function, the parasol also has a symbolic significance in Buddhism. It represents the Buddha's teachings, which protect his followers from the harsh realities of the world and guide them towards enlightenment. Number 10. The prayer flag. The prayer flag, also known as lungta in Tibetan, is a colorful flag that is a common sight in Buddhist countries like Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. It is a symbol of hope, peace, and good fortune, and is used to spread positive energy and blessings. The prayer flag is typically made of rectangular pieces of colored cloth, each bearing a prayer or mantra. These flags are usually hung in high places, such as mountaintops or rooftops, where they can be seen by the wind and spread their blessings far and wide. The prayer flag is believed to have originated in ancient Tibet, where it was used to send messages to the gods and to protect the people from evil spirits. Today, it is a popular symbol of Buddhism and is used by both Buddhists and non-Buddhists alike. These 10 Buddhist symbols carry deep and profound meanings that can inspire us on our spiritual journey. From the lotus flower representing the purity of mind, to the prayer flag spreading blessings and positive energy, each symbol holds a unique significance in Buddhist philosophy. By understanding and reflecting on these symbols, we can gain insight into the teachings of Buddhism and find ways to apply them in our daily lives. So take a moment to appreciate their beauty and contemplate their meaning, as they may inspire you on your path towards greater understanding and compassion.